Hello YouTube family, James Green, Short Series Shenanigans. We're here today drinking from our favorite coffee cup, and we got a few projects going on. Gotta have your coffee to function. So, got some neat stuff going on, got some good content, you know me. If it's something new and exciting and interesting, I like to show it. But first, we recently did some tool trade purchase stuff with an individual named Eric Cortina. I believe if I'm pronouncing your name right, Eric. Anyway, I didn't know this about him. He had approached me. He was looking for some items that I had for sale, and he said, hey, can I get your address while I've got you on the phone? Because he was looking for some inserts and stuff, and I said, sure. I did not realize this. He actually competitively shoots for Lapua. So he's like, hey, you know, because he knows I'm into guns and stuff like that, because I like building stuff. I enjoy doing gunsmithing. You guys know that's part of what I do here in the garage. So he sent me a couple nice things. A real nice, I'll try to get it where the light doesn't, Lapua, because I've got the camera the other direction here. I'll get it to where the light, there we go. So you can see it actually is a coaster, 338 Lapua. So pretty neat, pretty big size. It is about 3 3/4 inches across diameter and about 1/4 inch thick. So that will definitely fit the big coffee mug here. You know, it'll definitely sit on it. I know I always get comments about that coffee mug. So, but anyway, I like it because it's big. That's why I like it. Not necessarily what it says, but I think it's funny. Also, he sent a, and I haven't opened it up yet. I've been keeping the package. Looks like a shooting, sort of a towel. So I hadn't opened it up. I just left it in the package. Go ahead and open it up now. And this will definitely go in the house. So it's a bit of a shooter's rag. You know, you're always wanting to wipe your guns down or whatever. You know, this isn't going to be a shop rag because this is Lapua. This will, and this is actually made in EU, European Union. So 100% cotton. There you go. And we all know cotton shrinks, but it's got a nice eyelet handle on it. You'd use that when you're, I guess if you wanted to wipe down your gun or your hands or whatever. But this one right here, this will go in with my firearm paraphernalia and stuff that I've got, because I got a few things like that. So thank you very much. I appreciate it, Eric. That's awesome. Some viewer appreciation, mail trade stuff. So what we've got going on, let me get these out of my pockets here. Me and my key, you know, us and our keychains, we're always hanging stuff. So what we've got going on, I posted some pictures earlier, and I'll be doing some more video on it, but here's a little bit of a teaser. It's over here in the vise, and that's going to be a very specific video specifically for it. But in this section right here, I don't want to pull it out. Well, actually I will. It don't matter because I'm not set up on it right now. I'll go ahead and pull it out and show you guys. So right here, get the camera to where in the sun, the light. Actually, I'm going back up. Okay. Trying to get to where light. So I recently acquired this in a tool trade from an individual. One of them wouldn't tighten up that holds the inserts, because I was going to clean it up and just give it the good once over before I use it. And one of them wouldn't tighten up, so I went and pulled it out, cleaned out the holes, and it was I was going through them, and I got to that one, and you know, I washed it out with cleaner and everything, blew it out real good, and I could see there was junk in there. And I'm thinking what it was is my tap was just, it wasn't an import tap, it was actually a good one. And it broke. So, you know, 544, you sneeze on them and they break very easily. So, right there, and that's the one that holds down the, I don't know if I can get the light to, I got my handy dandy flashlight, if you guys can see in there, that. Okay, so I have purchased because I knew it was going to happen one of these days, and we're always looking for the best way or a better way, because on the getter outs, like Bruce Withamo down in Australia always talks about, depending on what you're trying to remove, there's a myriad of things. So I spent the big bucks several months ago, about 6 months ago, and I picked one of these up. Okay, and I picked it up from Enco, MSC. They're all over the place. If you guys want to, let me circle, because everyone will say, hey, I want the number for that. And it's actually, I don't need the packing slip. And, okay, there's no personal information on here. I'll just black over this because I keep it handy. So I will show this. I wanted to try this. Okay, and this is the ideal candidate for it. So if you guys want to stop this and get the Enco number or MSC, or depending on where you wanted to get it at, they actually have a website. Okay, so that's going to be a whole separate video, and I'm going to use that to extract this. So that's going to be a later set of videos. May do Sunday shenanigans on it, I don't know yet. But what we got going on here is, and I posted a couple of pictures up on social media, Facebook, stuff like that. What we're working on, the bolt gun build. Now, what's interesting, I'm loving this rifle cradle clamp because I'm able to use it to index. You know, we've got it upside down, and we did a lot of drilling and milling at the back over here for the cheek weld parts. And basically we're getting everything trued up as far as, and then we're going to come in and do our drilling for where we're going to need our holes for not only the monopod, but as well as the through holes that are going to eventually for the action screws. Okay, so part of this here is we're just getting the bottom, because this was just bandsaw rough cutout. So we're coming in now, and I've showed this before, and I actually ended up thinking backwards, but it's not a big deal because I'm having to run the machine in reverse, which is fine. But my fly cutter bit, we just did us a real nice sharp, you know, ground to relief on there, nothing fancy, feeding it. The key to working wood is a very sharp bit, and we're only running 660 RPM, feeding slow, cutting great. And what I like about this, and the reason I made this to where it's real wide, so we can open this up, so we can actually end up once, because we're going to end up cutting this square up here too. You know, we'll move everything down, and I've drilled holes in the bottom of this where I can bolt it down to the table in the key slots. I'll try to show you guys. So what I've actually done, there's a hole here, and if you wanted to, you could use there, but essentially there's 4 holes. It's only held in 2 spots. You have to move easy, light cuts, because if you're doing milling, you have to be careful because there is flex in this. It is wood. Again, slow and steady wins the race. And what we're doing is we started down here at this end feeding in because how our bit is swinging. And with wood and tear out, we don't want to have the bit swinging this way and coming up, because it would end up tearing out. So we're actually facing, having it swing counterclockwise and face in. And as we feed through, I'm going to get nearly to the other edge. You guys are going to see. I'm going to set the camera up down here at the end and kind of show you guys a little bit what I got going on and see a little handwork. And of course, this is as far down as we could go because of how we had it set up, because I wanted to start at the very end, and we still got to go down a little bit. But we just slowly worked up, and we're gonna feed across a ways, come back down, and then we'll feed in, so that way as our cutter will be pressing in from the inside. You guys will see what I'm talking about. I'll try to get the camera down here because I want to show you guys a neat angle, stuff we got going on here. And I will lower the camera down here. You guys can see the action of what we got going on. Alright. So I will try to move that so it doesn't wash everything out there. And we do get a little action from the light. Our double boost light. It looks like it's pretty good in the camera there. So here we go. And we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and feed across, and I'm going to feed in and take some of this out. And then we're going to come down and just work it across. Slow and steady wins the race. I've just got my hand on top just to kind of give it a little extra Bridgeport. Making nice long stringy chips. I know all you woodchuckers out there know what I'm talking about. Again, this was just bandsawed out first, so it was just rough cuts. About ready to come through. I'm just going to go real slow. We're just going to put it on auto feed. We're going to let it feed down this way. See what we got going on, and it's slow and steady. After I get this down to height, I'll actually move in and come in from the back. Slow and steady, we're not moving very fast. Nice thin chips, as you can see. Really, really thin. So that's good, no big chunks. What I'll probably do, so I don't have to worry about tear out, is I'll actually grind another bit, or I'll flip this around and I'll get the correct grind so I can run my cutter in a clockwise position, and that way I don't have to worry about doing any tear out down here. And I'll just I'll flip that bit around and get the correct grind on it. So, and depending on what you're doing, it's always good to have bits that are ground, because you can put that in a lathe as well too, and use it for both left and right hand feeds, or in the fly cutter here, depending on what you got going on. And I've showed this fly cutter before. I honestly believe this was a shop-made fly cutter, and it was a very well thought out fly cutter. Speed the feed rate up just a little bit. And of course we always keep the vacuum handy. I usually run the vacuum kind of while I'm doing this, but not on video because you guys wouldn't be able to hear. But having the weight covers on here really helps. I'm always vacuuming whenever I'm doing milling or drilling operations on this. this over out of the way. I had that on there earlier thinking I was worried about maybe it vibrating a little bit, but it's really not. And we're just working on all these profiles here, getting this down to where it's level on the bottom, and then we're going to slowly work in and do some milling and more drilling down here. Get the basic rough out stuff done to where it's square, and then we'll start profiling everything with hand tools and sanders and stuff like that, grinders, Dremels, pencil grinders, different things. So this is all part of the process here. Table up just a little bit, and we're going to start feeding down the other direction. Take a whole lot more. Alright, locked it in, and that should give us a cleanup all across our bandsaw cuts there. We'll know this first little area because that was the only area that wasn't cleaning up. Again, a lot of this was rough cut out with a bandsaw, so here we're going to clean up. Looks like it. And then we can start, once we get this level down on the bottom, then we can work the depth of our profile inside the stock to the barrel. And actually, yeah, it's going to clean up. Slowly feeding across here, so yeah, that's all going to clean up. And I've mentioned before that this barrel and action is actually all going to be glass bed in the stock, and we actually have an accent piece that still has to be added to the front here. That's going to be some African mahogany. So it's going to be, there's still more woodworking to do, and we're going to fasten that. And that's going to be an interesting setup how we do that, because we're actually going to incorporate not just being fastened on here, but it's going to be cut in and sandwiched partially on top. So I'll show that for the woodworkers out there. You guys will like that. But it's going to be a neat setup to where half of the wood is actually going to come and tie into the top part of the stock, as well as, and it's going to be fastened in a couple different ways to help hold it on. Zooming right along. Just resting your hands on here takes just enough of the vibration out. You know. I'm also watching the chips too, so if I notice they're starting to cut weird or this thing feels like it's really shaking hard, then I know my bit has gotten dull. But you know, I've just made just these cuts with it, and it's been in wood. So when I pull it out to grind the other side for doing the cut down the other way, I'll definitely give it a quick touch just to make sure it's sharp. But yeah, any of you guys that have ever done woodworking, you know a good sharp tool makes things go easy. So I've really been pleased with this rifle cradle clamp, and as I do the other operations, I'll show that because it's unique, it's different. I'll post pictures up. I'm also on Instagram. It's at EagleDustOff37. My public email address, EagleDustOff37@gmail.com, if you guys want to get a hold of me for anything or you have questions in regard to this video or others, by all means, shoot me a message. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. You know, some guys don't realize what it takes to do work like this and shoot a video at the same time. Everybody has their own style of doing it. It's not as easy as you think. Some guys make it look easy. Cross feed here, just like we did a while ago. Feeding it by hand, pulling the y-axis towards us, just like we did a while ago. Try to feed it out here. Seems to be cutting okay. I'm just going to go slow and easy. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and feed all the way across here. Again, I've still got sanding and stuff to do to the outside of this, so I'm not seeing any issues with tear out right now. Because if you get fast, and you try to push it real hard, yeah, you can. But a sharp tool and move slow and steady. Oh yeah, looking good. Oh, looking real good. Feed it all the way across. Back the other way now. And away we go. You got some close-up footage there. Pretty good, so that'll get that down to the level we need it, and all we'll have to do at that point is do any sanding, but we still got to reposition our jig to come back here and work the rest of this in. Like I said, I've been very, very pleased with this clamp setup that I made. now that it's getting there, I'm going to speed the feed up just a little bit. We're actually about number 3 on the power feed mark over here. Oh yeah. Again, we still got to do sanding and stuff, so that'll definitely get us down to where we need to be. There we go. And we'll pull it back out here. I'll raise you guys up a little bit here. Ta-da. Back to height. I like this new, or the new old stock that was in Mom's storage, the tripod. So there you go. Showed you some interesting stuff we got going on. Stunt Machining 101. We'll now loosen those cap screws. You know, we'll pull this up out of the way. We'll let this up, matter of fact. Just pull this up all the way out of the way. There we go. And we'll loosen everything, slide it all down, and it works great. Even though the bed isn't long enough, with being able to move those, and what I actually do is I pull that T-nut and stuff, and it'll actually go in here on this end because we're going to move everything down. And again, we've got a reposition to be able to get in here as well too. And this again, this was just bandsaw cut out, so lots of, you know, creative milling, hand working. Again, I'm using this to get the bulk of this stuff off instead of trying to do it all by hand or just sand it. Now when I go to sand, you guys have seen me use my respirator. I'll be using that. I've showed that in a video last year. Great stuff, and I'll show it again because I've had a lot of people ask about it. If you're working with wood, like the fine dust on this stuff, even a little bit now, I've got the, I'm having a little trouble. Getting dust in your lungs is not a good thing. So, you know, I didn't have it on today because you can't talk with it in your mouth. But when I'm doing sanding and stuff, those are really, really phenomenal. Woodworkersupply.com, and like I said, I'll talk about that in another video when I go to do it. So there you go. Showed you some neat stuff we got going on today. Just woodworking, milling, drilling, all that good stuff, fly cutting. Remember, take care of yourself and take care of your family, because at the end of the day, you and your family is all you got. Thanks again, Eric. I appreciate it. And you guys, be safe out there, and we'll see you in the next video. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.